Hey everybody, so I'm going to jump right in, and I am on Proverbs 27. Do not boast. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Let another praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. A stone is heavy and sand a burden, but provocation by a fool is heavier than both. Wrath is cruel and anger is overwhelming, but who can stand before jealousy? Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but excessive the kisses of an enemy. One who is full loathes honeycomb, but to one who is hungry, every bitter thing is sweet. Like a bird that strays from its nest is a man that wanders from his home. Iron sharpens iron, as ointment and perfume gladden the heart. So the sweetness of one's friend comes from his sincere counsel. Do not forsake your friend or your father's friend, nor go to your brother's house in the day of your disaster. Better a neighbor nearby than a brother far off. Be wise, my son, make my heart glad, so I may answer anyone who taunts me. The prudent see danger and hide, but the naive keep going and pay the penalty. Take a man's garment who puts up security for a stranger and hold it in pledge as security for a seductive woman. If someone blesses his friend with a loud voice early in the morning, it will be taken as a curse. Continual dripping on a day of steady rain and a contentious wife are alike. Hiding her is like hiding the wind or grasping oil with the right hand. As iron sharpens iron, so a person sharpens the countenance of his friend. Whoever tends a fig tree will eat its fruit. Whoever takes care of his master will be honored. As water reflects the face, so a person's heart reflects the person. Sheol and Abaddon are never satisfied, and neither are the eyes of man. A crucible is for silver, and a furnace is for gold, but a person is proved by the praise he receives. Even if you pound the fool along with the grain in a mortar with a pestle, his foolishness would never leave him. Know well the condition of your flocks. Pay attention to your herds, for riches are not forever, nor a crown from generation to generation. When hay is removed, the grass appears, and grain from the hills is gathered in. Lambs will provide you with clothing, and goats with the price of a field. There will be enough goat's milk for food, and food for your household, and sustenance for your maidservants. So, lost my pen here. We really don't know what's going to happen from day to day. And when you experience death and the grief of death, you realize that life is temporary, and that the people in our life, make sure that you tell them that you love them, because you just don't know the timing of their time on earth. And a stone is heavy and sand a burden. And I started to think about how, right now I'm sitting at this beautiful spot along the water, and I'm hearing the waves, and I'm on a sandy little beach, and, it's like stone is heavy and sand a burden. When you build your house far away from the water, there's not a concern for being close to the water. But if you are close to the water, then sand is a burden, and being close to the water is a burden. But then it's saying, provocation by a fool is heavier than both. And, I've looked at different houses recently, and one of them was near the water and one of them was inland, just far inland. And it's like the one inland had this beautiful structure to it, but the street it was on didn't feel very safe. I didn't like the neighborhood, and it had water damage. And then I look at this other house that's near the water, and again, it has a cute structure, but being near the water, the insurance is higher, the repairs are higher, it already had water damage. And again, these are the things that you have to worry about when you're near the sand, when you're near the water. But provocation by a fool is heavier than both. And the point is, like, even though I said to the person what I was looking for, the real estate agent, it's like she took me on a wild goose chase because she's trying to sell the houses that are on her list. And, when you look at a picture of something and you think, oh, wow, that looks so cute and quaint and cozy, and, yeah, let me take a look at it. And then you look at the street and you're like, hell no, like, this neighborhood is horrible. Or you look at, again, a picture like, oh, wow, this is near the water, this is going to be so great. And then you look at it and it's like, this is so much work. And this is, again, a fool is provoking me to go check out these places when it's nowhere near what I had given the person in terms of my parameters. And you want to believe that people have your back and that they're guiding you, but in today's age, not so much. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. When I think of all the relationships that I've had that have turned kind of sour, it's because the men were not really men, they were boys, and they were manipulative, they were into drugs and alcohol, and they lied about everything. And hidden love is not helping me, it's not helping the other person. It's, excessive kisses of the enemy are just going to lead you down the wrong path. But I'd rather have someone who is honest and say, hey, this is who I am, and this is what I'm about, and these are my struggles, and this is where I'm lacking. I need support in these areas. I'd rather have somebody come clean and tell me that than someone make up a fake story when none of it's true. The prudent see danger and hide. The naive keep going and pay the penalty. I think in today's world, a lot of people are just turning their head. They've got their head in the sand like an ostrich, and they don't want to look at what's really going on. They want to pretend that everything's okay when it's not. But if you got your eyes open, you're like seeing things for what they are, and you're going, I need to prepare, and this is my plan, and I'm going to continue to carry out my plan because this is what God says, and I'm going to follow it. The sweetness of one's friend comes from a sincere counsel. Do not forsake your friend or your father's friend. So, I think about, the saying that, if you have a couple true blue friends, that you're very wealthy, like you're very rich when you have a couple really amazing true blue friends. And I am fortunate that I have like 3 true blue friends, and they're amazing people that have been through my life in the ups and the downs. And, they're a phone call away, they're a short ride away, and they're there. And that is so valuable. And as iron sharpens iron, so a person sharpens the countenance of his friend. Friends are people that you can be authentic with. You can say the hard stuff, and they're going to be like respectful, and they're going to be happy that you're telling what you see because you're being a real friend to them, and they're going to appreciate your rawness, your boldness. And it may take them some time to assimilate or to make those changes, or maybe years, but you're still there, like as the friend guiding them along. A person is proved by the praise he receives. I always hated those assignments where you had to like beef up yourself and boast about your abilities. Sometimes even writing a resume is like, it's just like, you don't want to write your own review. I don't know how else to say it. So like I would rate what I'd see about myself, but then I'd take it to my friends and I'd say, will you add some more? Will you critique this? Will you share what you see about me so that I get this right? And then it would be more true, because I'm allowing other people to see me through their eyes and not just my own eyes of what I see about myself. Like, a good friend is going to give good counsel. And that could be a coach, a pastor, a teacher. It could be a friend, could be a person that you actually pay to get that good counsel from. Or it could be a friend that you have as a friend that you're not paying, but you just have that friendship. And then, the grain from the hills, the lambs with clothing, the goats with milk and food. Again, most of the things in the Bible are from an agrarian, rural type of lifestyle. And not many of us live that lifestyle. We live more in suburbia or in cities, and it may take longer for us to, make that change of preparation and preparing to have the things necessary to make that kind of big change. So you might want to start thinking about those options, but also maybe just making preparations for where you are, for those lean and mean times that may be ahead, so that you have enough for your household. So that was Psalms 27. And, my encouragement to you, and I was reading from the Tree of Life series, I really encourage you to read a Bible, pick it up and start reading it, and have the Holy Spirit download for you privately what this means, or what you're going through in your life, and what pieces of the Bible the Lord is highlighting to you specifically for your season and your time. And then when you talk about it with other people and you say, I see this about myself, what do you see? And, I got this point and I'm not understanding this point. Like, what do you see about this? Like, just having a conversation with your friends, maybe with your therapist, with your biblical coach, to understand things with more depth. And, it's never bad to ask a question and to ask for more counsel. I think that just shows that you're serious and that you want to understand. And I think God rewards those that are seeking. So seek, and you shall find me, the Lord says. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this little private beach for the moment. Have a good one.